recording on Twitch. Now we are recording on this. Alright. Hi. So I'm currently live streaming. By the time you watch this on YouTube, I will not be live streaming this anymore, but I decided I wanted to make a vlog in a way that was less intense. Now, I'll explain to you what I mean. I filmed this video already, or I started to film this video, and I had this really great setup. I used a really nice lens. Hashtag trash with fairy lights. It was great, but it was stressful. I've only been on Twitch not even a year yet, and already it just kind of feels comfortable. And I think that's because YouTube feels most comfortable when I'm editing videos and doing post-production things, because that's the point at which people see it. But the point at when people see Twitch, is when it's happening. So that's why I'm recording this simultaneously. But yeah, Preptober. It is Preptober time. NaNoWriMo is next month. What is this series? What am I going to be doing here on Twitch and on YouTube? What is happening? I am preparing to write a novel, a 50,000 word novel. And I'm not a planner, I'm a pantser. I've been a plancer before, but it didn't work. And being a pantser, it's fun, but I never love my story at the end. So I don't know if you can see my scrivener I have open here. I don't know if it's too difficult to read or not, but I've started to create a list of things to do this month before November to really get everything ready to go. If you're watching this on YouTube, there is a link in the description to the full list of 31 things. I know we're already a few days into October. Some of them are really easy things. Some of them will take most of October to do. But if you are also writing a NaNoWriMo novel and you want some help getting ready and you want to plan it, I am not prepared. This list will help me prepare, and hopefully it will help you prepare too. So go ahead and click that link in the description to check out the full list on my blog. Now let's make the list on Twitch. Now we're going to make this list. Cut to the footage from Twitch. The first thing I have written is officially announce your novel on NaNoWriMo.org. There's an official thing you can do for that. I've done it. Second one is write a log line, who, what, where, / when, how, and why. I've also put that on my NaNoWriMo thing. What is my NaNoWriMo username? I feel like it's MagicCatJenny. It's gotta be. I have the same username everywhere. Decide on a plot structure to follow. Okay, so for plot structures, this one's interesting because I used to hate them when I was a pantser, but I'm getting kind of into them now because basically they make it a lot easier. You can use these things to your advantage, not necessarily as like a limiting thing. So the one I think I'm going to be following is Dan Harmon's Plot Embryo, which is a modified version of the hero's journey. It's a bit more detailed than your typical 3-act structure. These aren't in any order, but this is the most important one, for me at least. Outline all the chapters, because this is something I halfway did when I was a pantser / planner for 1 year, and it didn't really help. It kind of actually made things, I mean, it didn't make them worse, but it didn't really help because basically it started with like every 5 chapters I had like, this is when this happens. So I had like a beginning, middle, and end, but how everything like transitioned wasn't planned out, and my transitions were really terrible because of that. In addition to Dan Harmon's Plot Embryo, I am also doing a chapter outline that was created by a YouTuber of the name Katie Tastic. She's a booktuber. In her older videos, she used to do a lot more writing videos, and she did this chapter outline. It was 27 chapters, and it was so thorough that at first I rejected it, saying like, no way am I going to limit myself to something like this. But for the sake of NaNoWriMo and for the sake of this particular story I want to write, I think it's going to really help me. So I'm actually going to import that in here because I want to show you the outline structure I'm using has 3 acts. Each act has 3 blocks. Each block has 3 chapters. Introduction, inciting incident, immediate reaction, reaction, action, consequence, pressure, pinch, push, new world, fun and games, old world, contrast, build up, midpoint, reversal, reaction, action, dedication, trials, pinch, darkest moment, power within, action, converge, I can read, battle, climax, and resolution. So those are the whole thing. All right. If I were to do the snowflake method, which I won't actually do in its entirety because it is not great for NaNoWriMo because it requires a lot of like different variations of summaries. And when I do NaNoWriMo, I want to just get like just the actual novel out there. If I started this a few months earlier, I could have probably done the entire snowflake method right up until NaNoWriMo, but I did not. We're starting this now. So I think I'm going to like cherry pick different things from the snowflake method. One thing I really like is their disaster. I think it's step 2. Major disasters, 3 disasters, and an ending. So each of the disasters take a quarter of the book to develop, and the ending takes the final quarter. Now, my book is currently... the chapter structure is a 3-act structure, but my plot structure is a 4-piece, 8-point plot embryo via Dan Harmon, also via the hero's journey. Get a writing candle to light what I write. Research photos for your character and setting inspiration. Outline Act 1, Block 3. Figure out your character's personality types. Create character summary sheets. Outline Act 2, Block 4. Create a writing music playlist or white noise. Write a list of all needed secondary characters. Brag to your friends about NaNoWriMo. I'm going to start a novel tomorrow. That way, at least for me, you'll have something you have to live up to, kind of in their eyes. Like, you know, you bragged about it. You might as well, like, really do it. Because if you don't, then they're going to come back with, haha, you failed. You know, all in jest, all in good spirits, because it's friends we're talking about, you know, teasing in a kind, friendly way. But if you brag to them, then you're gonna want to be able to brag on December 1st with, hey, you know that novel I said I was gonna write? I wrote it. And a mere 2 hours later, we have created 31 things to do in preparation for NaNoWriMo. Preptober is happening. There's already a few things I've checked off the list, and already a few things I'm behind on, but I have all month, and so do you. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitch if you want to be involved in a lot of these sort of live writing things. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Meow. Stream is ending. This is the end screen for my Twitch streams. And I guess for YouTube, because this is a YouTube video now, if you're watching it. So, yeah.